HRC National Board of Governor, Fiona Dawson.
Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to be celebrating with you tonight in Columbus. Thank you for having me. You know, people choose to support HRC in many different ways and at various giving levels. However, I am here from Houston, Texas, yes, Houston, Texas, to ask you tonight to be a leader in this fight for equality and to join the Federal Club. As a Houston Federal Club member myself, I believe the Human Rights Campaign is the preeminent organisation leading the way to achieving full equality for all LGBT Americans. You just heard Marty talk about the strategic work and the laser-like focus on HRC's goals. We have done so much, and yet there is so much more to do. But isn't it exciting that we have a real chance to see the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell? From the Federal Club members make up 1/3 of HRC's annual budget. This work is impossible without your help. Now, each of us decides to give at the Federal Club level for very personal reasons. Each one of us has a unique story. But by coming out and telling our stories, we find a shared commonality, that we are all human beings who just want to be treated with equal respect. Tonight, I'm going to briefly share my story with you and tell you why I decided to get more involved as a leader and activist with HRC. Several years ago, when I was coming out as a lesbian and getting out of an abusive marriage, I remember the conversations that I had with my parents who live in England. Both, of course, were extremely distressed when they learned about my reasons for leaving my marriage. I had not told them about the abuse, and nor had I told them about me being gay. Initially, they were very concerned for my safety and well-being. However, after knowing that I was in a good place, the conversation soon turned to more practical issues. Things like, well, for example, here was their daughter in a foreign country, far away from home, and so now they wondered, like, where would I live? How would I manage the money? Would my job be affected? What about my social life and my friends? Could I even stay living in the United States? These were their concerns. For them, all of this was far greater than me coming out. And just a quick aside, I was very disappointed that coming out was such a minor issue. Anyway, I'll continue with the story. It was only later that my parents and I began to realise the implications of what being gay in the United States really means. The lack of basic civil rights, the repressive impact from the religious right, and the fear and intimidation of living life openly. None of these things had I experienced when I had been married. And I can remember my father telling me, in utter disbelief, that I actually had more rights and protections as a green card holder or a US resident alien in an abusive marriage to a man than as a happy, safe, confident, and openly gay US voting citizen. Which is where I am now, by the way. And so my dad asked me, how could his daughter, the daughter he will always love, no matter what, have so many rights granted through citizenship in the land of the free, and yet have those rights so abruptly taken away because of her sexual orientation? We realised then that the basic fears my parents raised in terms of my divorce were in fact affecting me, but because I'd come out as gay and a And so that's why I decided to turn to the Federal Club, to turn that scenario around, and not just for me, because I am lucky. Because I was married to a man, I easily became a US citizen. However, despite their love and long-term commitment with one another, my gay friends from different countries in same-sex relationships cannot. They are faced with continual immigration issues that could physically tear them apart, and quite frankly, it is blatant and repulsive discrimination. And so, what's your personal story? And why are you here tonight supporting HRC? I'm sure your story is different from mine, but the Human Rights Campaign is working on many issues that affect us all. And which is why I'm asking you to act on your story too. And start giving at the Federal Club level, which is just $100 a month. And that is for a couple. Yes, your monthly giving includes you and your partner. And that's either same-sex or opposite sex. We don't discriminate. And so, to our current members who continue to be there, thank you. Thank you for your support. And you're not getting away with anything either. Our current members, I ask you, please, could you increase your gift by $10, $20, $30 or more a month? Did you know that Federal Club started 28 years ago and hasn't changed giving levels since? Don't you agree that we owe it to those who sacrificed back then to increase our monthly donations today? A small difference, a small increase would make a huge difference. And of course, you can also become a member of the Federal Club Council tonight, and that is fully tax deductible and starts at just over $400 a month. Federal Club Council gifts support HRC's wonderful education and foundation programs. And so on your table, you have a wonderful pledge card that looks like this, and you also have a pen. And I'd like you to take a moment to pick them up. I'm going to pause, and I'm going to ask, please show me your cards. Can you pick them up? Thank you. I'd like to see them. Great. Thank you very much. Everyone's found a pledge card. Thank you. And I would like you to decide to please fill this out tonight. Our fight for equality must remain strong. You've heard about the work that is happening right now, and the change is happening. And this is a historic moment in our LGBT civil rights. And when we see that LGBT inclusive language written into law, don't you want to be able to say that you were at the forefront of the movement? In a moment, members of the steering committee will start circulating the room. I can see their glow sticks at the back of the room already. Wait. And they're going to come around and pick up your completed pledge cards. And I'm sure the lights will go up, so there's no excuse for not reading this. And so I conclude with saying, please think of your personal story and then decide, how much is equality worth? Surely it's worth $100 a month. And join us tonight. Be a part of the change that we all long for. And I give you many sincere thanks for choosing to do so tonight. Thank you.